I'm Joan Landis. This last installment about anxiety is a concept that it sounds easier than it really is, but so important. And that is to shift or change your expectations. So many times when we have unrealistic expectations of ourselves or others, it creates a great deal of anger and anxiety when those expectations are not met. So we can either try to change everybody else in our environment and be very frustrated, or we can change ourselves on the inside and change some expectations. My grandfather used to say, in order to be happy, demand nothing and forgive everything. And there really is some truth to that. And that's changing your expectations. That you just simply don't demand anybody do anything in particular. And it's great if they do. Yay, celebrate it. But you don't have those rigid expectations that if they don't meet, your life is, messed over and you're feeling very anxious about it all. So be careful when you put expectations on the people around you. It can create a lot of resentment and anxiety on their behalf. So does your son or daughter actually have to become a doctor in order for you to feel like you're a good parent? And do they have to get straight A's? And do they have to, be whatever? I just remember one of my friends. She had one child later in life, and she was a very high-powered executive. Love her to death. And she had one child and one son, and it was like her whole life revolved around creating the very best everything for this boy and getting him into the most competitive programs, most competitive schools with the best grades. And, it made all of us kind of anxious. We were like, wow, really? Can you just relax and just let people be people? And one of the things that we used to kind of say is, I think she's going to be really disappointed when he grows up to be just a person. And really, I think part of that was her expectation was so high. And then I don't ever know how that actually resolved, but it can drive everybody around you nuts, and it can drive yourself kind of nuts too. So check your expectations. Just like, what do I really have to have in order to be happy? Well, if the answer is less and less and less, your opportunities to be happy grow and grow and grow. If you have to have a list 3 pages long for all these conditions to be complied with before you are allowed to be happy, wow, you're not going to be happy very long in your life. But if you say, you know what, I only need 2 things. I only need reasonable health, or I just need to be mostly pain-free, and I need to have meaning in my life. Okay, great. Then the kitchen's dirty, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It really makes it so you just don't have to get as concerned and worried about all these expectations getting filled. Now, if you find that you can't let go of these expectations, okay, that you write them down, you're like, oh, I noticed that, when my husband disappoints me this way or my kids disappoint me this way, I'm just kind of awful. If you can write these down and you look at them carefully and you realize the cost, how it's damaging your relationship and how it's damaging your health, your mental health. That when you can look at that with a cold, steely eye and say, wow, this is making everybody uncomfortable. And then if you cannot let those go, for some reason, it's damaging your relationship, it's hurting people, but you still make those demands on others, then that's where we would definitely want you to get in with a therapist and process that, okay? And say, where's that coming from? What trauma did you go through? Why do you have a core issue of safety or worth usually, where it's like, I've got to have these conditions met in order for me to feel okay? So go ahead and take that inventory of yourself about what expectations you have about yourself and those around you that might really be creating a lot of anxiety in yourself and actually them. And then decide, what are the costs and benefits of this? And is it worth putting everyone through this grief? And if it's not, find out, can I leave these behind now? And if you can't, talk to somebody about that, okay? Because that's a significant source of stress and anxiety, and we just need to leave a lot of that behind. So I hope this has been a good course for you. Hope to see you on the forums and just write about what you found out about any expectations you may have or the expectations that were put on you when you were growing up. So see ya. Bye-bye.